That was fine.
Okay.
I grabbed these from the shoe bench. So are these yours? Yeah. Okay.
Like I said, choppy a little bit, but eventually buffered out and went good.
Sounds good.
Chris, we just got to remind everybody to shut off their video, so that'll help out a lot. Because last week went really well, and I'll make sure I post
Yeah.
something too when we get going.
Um, yeah, and Royce, why don't you just keep an eye on the chat if there's anything in there while we're going? Just
Okay.
stop me.
Hey, Greg, that's a pretty nice award you got the other night, or was it last night, or was it third Friday night? I can't remember.
I don't know if he's paying attention. Ben, it was last night. Last night at halftime of the game.
There we go. I figured it out. I was on mute. Imagine that. Thank you. Thank you. It was really fun. So it was really humbling, but it was um, just very appreciative of that. So um, there's a lot of hard work into that and a lot of learning, and you guys are leading the way on that one. So I want to say thank you for that also. So.
Yeah, Greg, it's a well-deserved award. You've had a large impact on a lot of people. I know you've had a huge impact on my games. So we can never thank guys like you. I know Dave Burnett has worked his last one, and I know there's a few others out there that I'm missing. But without, leaders like you guys, none of us would have be in the spot that we are now. So we definitely do appreciate everything that you've done for the student athletes, the coaches, and for us.
Thank you. I,
All right. Royce, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, sir.
Okay, 8 o'clock, Sunday, March 8th. We will get going. We'll do our best to make sure that we keep this to 45 to 50 minutes. Um, Want to make good use of your time. The first thing we're going to open up with tonight is an end of quarter scenario, end of quarter timing scenario. Royce and I have been asked to uh, address this and bring this up as we approach our final SODAT games on Tuesday. And, obviously we'll have the girls state tournament starting on Thursday and then the boys state tournaments to follow. Um, Obviously, or if you don't know, in the state tournaments, we do have the use of instant replay, or we do have the use of a monitor. But in the SODAC games, we don't have the use of the monitor. So we've been asked by the Activities Association, by Justin Ingalls and Larry Osborne to deliver a message regarding last second shots. And so I'm going to show you this clip. This is me of a end of a quarter scenario, a second quarter clip in which there's 8.7 seconds left on the clock. And we're going to have a shot attempt by White, West Central. They're going to miss, and then they're going to have a putback attempt. The calling official, remember that if you are the trail or center away from the table, you have the clock, right? So you are responsible for the clock. However, the guidance that we've been asked to share with you, in particular in this situation, is that if it's at any point that it's close, right, and that you want and need an opinion, maybe from not only one member of your crew, but both members of your crew, you are now being asked to come together as a crew, discuss, get the opinion of your other officials to provide information and knowledge to you, and then make the call. So Royce, I want to make sure I'm clear on that. So if you have a close situation, a scenario in which it's extremely close, you are being asked to not count it, to not wave it off, but to simply have the teams go to their benches, have the two other officials that are on the floor with you come together and ask them for information and or ask them to provide you information. If you are an official in this situation, that's the non-calling official. You're the lead, or in this instance, you're the center. If you don't have any information, just simply state that to that official. I don't have any information to share with you. I didn't get a good look on whether or not he or she released the ball in time for it to score or not to score. But if you do have information, we want you to bring that. Royce, does that make sense? Is that crystal clear, or am I kind of muddying the waters?
No, I mean, it's clear to me. I think it's just important. It's, I think why we're talking about this, because we've had obviously several scenarios that have happened over the last 3 days. And we want to make sure that we get as many plays right as possible. And I think coming together allows us to provide information and gives you a moment to replay in your brain too and see things. But I think it's important that everybody has an opinion. Like in this play, when you see it, like the lead actually probably has a good look down the court through the hands and can see the lights and the other shot clock at the other end. So they probably have a great idea of what's going on. And as I say with the same thing with the C2, would have a great opportunity to provide some information. But I think Chris was trying to be very clear about it. If you are not 100% sure or have good information, just state very simply, I don't have any information to provide, or I can only provide this information, so that you don't, like he said, make it more confusing.
So again, and I get that there's subjectivity to, okay, Chris, well, what are you deeming close? You'll know. I guess that's as good as I can say it, is that you're going to know if that's extremely close. And in this situation, I know that I'm the calling official and I make a judgment based on what I see, and it's incorrect. So you're going to watch the clip. And so in this clip, the guidance is to do not score it, do not wave it off. Simply blow your whistle and get the teams to their benches and bring the crew together and try to gather as much information as you can to make the best possible decision on the information that you have from all three officials. In the absence of the monitor, in the absence of instant replay, we are our own monitors. So the three officials on the floor, their opinions and the information that they have and that they've gathered and that they're bringing together is what you're going to go with. So I'll play the clip again. The guidance now is that do not score or wave this off. Simply allow the basket to go in. get the teams to their benches, come together as a crew, discuss, get an opinion from all three officials, take your time, talk it through. It's not a rush. Remember, the most important thing is to gather as much information as possible and make the best possible decision with that information. All right, we'll play the clip and like we've done, your cameras, if you could turn off your cameras, would be great. If you are unable to see the film and it's choppy on your end, remember your email inbox should have this. I'm sorry, this is the one clip that you don't have. So this is the one that I'll play a couple of times so that you can see it. Royce, is there anything in the chat?
Yeah, there was a note from Jerry Beers. He's said should emphasize I think is not information to bring. Information needs
Yeah.
to be definite. So
Great.
that I think that's the great point. Yeah, just no,
Yeah.
don't say I think. If you say I think at all, stay away.
Yeah, I think I maybe saw, you know what, I think I may, whatever, bring definitive information. If you come over and you say, I think, stay out of the conversation because you don't have any definitive knowledge. You don't have good information to bring. Okay. Don't muddy the waters. Bring definitive information. This is what I saw. This is what I saw. Okay. All right. We'll play this and then we'll go over it one more time. But again, 8.7 second quarter. We're going to have a last second shot. Maybe. Bear with me.
Hey, while you're working on that, Nick Amon did bring it up too. Talk us through if we have two different opinions in our crew. So once we go through the video, we'll talk about that in a second. But that's a good point too, Nick.
I'll show it one more time. Okay, I'll slow it down just so you can see. This is a call incorrect. This basket should not have counted. The calling official, you'll see that the ball is still in his hands at the expiration of time. And the calling official rules incorrectly here. The guidance now, as we approach Tuesday, if you have a game on Tuesday, is that do not score it, do not wave it off. Just simply, I think it's okay just to blow your whistle to indicate that the quarter is essentially over and get the teams to their benches. Obviously, because this is going to be a conversation with all three officials. And so we want the teams to their benches. Tell them do not go into the locker room, stay on the court. If this is a situation where it's prior to halftime, coach, stay on the court. We're going to discuss this just so they have the information readily available to them before they go into their locker room. We don't want to have to deliver the information while they're in the locker room. We want them to get it while they're out there. So teams to their benches, just have them hang out, settle, and come together as a crew and discuss what you have. Royce, you had the question. Royce, you can certainly address it since you and I talked earlier tonight about differing opinions, right? We have 3 officials on the court. You've got one that says one thing, you've got another that agrees with maybe that one thing, and then maybe you've got one that doesn't, or you've got 2 that don't agree and one that does, if that makes sense, Royce. You want to go into that and address that?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and this gets talked about, obviously we try not to bring this in, but at the college level, we get together and talk about these things more. So we really talk about give your information, explain this is what I've got. I have the ball being in his hands and then at zeros, and I have no basket. And then say that Chris comes in and tells me, nope, I have him releasing the ball, then zeros on the clock. And I come in as the R and state, nope, I have it in his hands at zeros. We can make that decision. In the end, it falls on the R to make the final decision. You can override your partners if you have 100% definite knowledge that you want to go with that. But I think somebody stated this earlier in our calls, and this has been true to me too. If I have any hesitation at all, 95% of the time that basket's no good. If, on the ones that I've gotten right, and it was released in time, I was 100%, I didn't waver at all. But if you have any little bit of like doubt or anything like that, you'd be surprised how many times we're incorrect on that and the shot wasn't released in time. So that's where that 100%, this is what I got, helps you out tremendously.
Nick, is that clear as far as if you have differing opinions? I want to make sure that we're clear on this.
Yeah, I think so. I just wanted to have the conversation out loud. So thank you for doing it.
Guys and gals, this is an extremely tough thing, right? It's a tough thing to do, and we're calling it for the merits of what's happening on the floor. It's easy to sit here tonight and to stop it right here and to say, yeah, that's absolutely the wrong call. But as you all know, when you're on the court, it is completely different, right? The atmosphere is different. Your mind, the things that are going through your mind as this official, as far as, you've got the shooter up and down, and then you've got the shot that's missed, and then subsequently you have an offensive rebound, and you've got to quickly get your mindset to, I've got to make sure that that ball is released in time. So this official, myself, is processing and is maybe a little late to the party as far as scoring it, because there's a little bit of processing taking place. Again, in this scenario, if you have this scenario on Tuesday night in your SODAC game, do not count it. Do not wave it off. Blow your whistle. Get the 2 teams to their benches. If the coach is erupting and wondering, what are we doing? Coach, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. All 3 of us on the floor are going to talk about it. We're going to make a decision on whether or not we're going to score this or wave it off. Perfect. All right. Coach, stay with your team until we make a decision. Again, I want to make sure this is clear for Tuesday because we have no monitor, we have no instant replay, so you have to use the 3 officials, the 3 sets of eyes, the 3 sets of ears, and gather as much information as possible to make the best possible decision. Again, extremely difficult in real time, and so we're hoping that this will alleviate maybe some things that have happened in this case, alleviate what happened here with me making an incorrect call and owning it as the calling official that night when we go back and look at it. And I say to the crew that's on me. That's on me because I should have went to for sure the center official and asked for information if he had any, and also the lead if he had any information, because this is an incorrect call. So gather information. Again, if you have a basket that is close to the expiration of time and that that it's important to gather information as far as information from the other 2 officials, please do so. That's what the Activities Association, Justin and Larry want us to do as we move forward. Royce, Jerry, Nick, anybody else on the call? Again, I keep saying it. I want to be clear on this. I want to make sure that we're all of the understanding of what we're going to do going on the floor on Tuesday night.
Danny, I got a question.
Go ahead.
Yep.
So you say you want to keep the coach and the players on the court while you discuss. In this case, they'd be able to go to. Would we be able to allow them to go to the locker room if they wanted to keep an assistant back, and then that way they could quote unquote start the halftime? Get a head
No.
start on going, or we want to keep them on the floor.
Just keep them. Just keep them on the floor. I mean, I don't think you're not starting the halftime while you're talking. We're not
Right.
going to start the 10 minutes while we're discussing as a crew. So just keep them on the floor. I don't think there's any harm in doing that.
Yeah.
They're over by their benches. We're not starting the 10-minute halftime. We're not switching the possession arrow. We're not doing any of that because we haven't went to the table with the ball or any of that because we're discussing what happened prior. Remember, we're discussing what happened prior to halftime still. So just keep them on the floor. Again, I don't think it's going to take 5 to 10 minutes to come up with a decision. As you guys and gals all know, that you feel like you're taking forever, but you really, I mean, it might take a minute or two to discuss all the elements and all the information, and then you make the possible decision, best possible decision. So no, don't send the teams in. Keep I'm just a firm believer in for sure keeping the head coach out there because you want to give him the correct information. I don't want to give information to the assistant coach, and then now the assistant coach has got to relay that information to the head coach. You want to talk to that head coach specifically. Does that make sense, John?
Yeah, I was just saying, like, if the coach would be like, girls go in the locker room, guys go into the locker room, and then if he stays out there, then, I just don't want to have it where all of a sudden they start running. It's like, okay, do we blow our whistles to bring him back? As long as the head coach is out there, like you said, we should be able to discuss and then be like, hey, yep, basket's good or no basket, and then go to the table, flip the arrow, start the 10-minute. But yeah, no,
Yeah,
it makes sense. I got it.
I would keep them on the floor. Or keep them by their bench on the floor. I don't think that's that big of a deal.
Copy that.
Yep. And Daryl brought up a great point, Daryl Buck. I think letting each coach know pregame this new procedure for tonight's game would be good. Yes, we 1% agree. That was the point I was going to make is obviously we want to pregame this because it's something new that we're doing, and then letting the coaches know too, because then they're prepared if there is that moment. They kind of know what's going on, so they're not caught off guard and then looking at you with that look like, hey, what are we doing here? But good communication with the coaches just goes a long ways to set the tone for the game, and doing that, the coaches are going to have more confidence in you too.
Any questions, comments, concerns? Okay, we'll move on. Again, I'm gonna encourage the Activities Association to at least send out some type of dialogue or a memo tomorrow morning so that we can have it in writing just as far as our procedures of what we're doing, because obviously there's not 450 people on this call today, and there's certainly not everybody that's going to be officiating on Tuesday night on this call. So the information that we're passing to you is only as good as if everybody gets it, right? So we want to make sure that it's out there. You can certainly pass on the word if you're a region coordinator on the call tonight, or if you're an official that has a group chat or whatever, the procedure moving forward for Tuesday night, and making sure that we get all the information, get all the details, and try to make the best possible decision in awarding or waving off a last second shot. Okay. All right. We will move on. So the emphasis tonight was some off-ball stuff is kind of what we're emphasizing tonight. Talking about getting that first foul, right? Not maybe verbally talking to them about keep your hands off or what have you. Using our whistle, getting the first foul, because as you're going to see in some of these clips, if we don't get the first one, then it really spirals out of control into where we haven't gotten the first one, and now we've got maybe an offensive foul when it should have been a defensive foul. And now we have a technical foul issued to one of the coaches and maybe another technical foul. So this first clip, this is a Division I college basketball game this week. You're going to have some action right here in the middle. This is the University of Kansas. This is their best player. This individual is most likely going to be a top. He'll be for sure a top 5, if not the first pick in the NBA draft. So let's be real. You have to identify good players on the court. No different than Tuesday night and in your state tournaments. Identify your best players, and we've got to observe off-ball action. We've got to do a good job. So I'll play this a couple of times. Royce is going to take the lead on this, and we're talking about off-ball. So I want to put yourself in the shoes of all 3 officials here relative to where the ball is and what your primary coverage area is and what you should be observing. Okay. In this case, put yourself in the situation of the center official and the lead official. The ball is up here. This is the trail's primary coverage area. Where should our eyes be as the center and as the lead? So I'll play it a couple of times, and then Royce can take over.
Energy into your guys, because you have to pressure the ball and talk if you're going to switch everything. Tough matchup for Bryce Ford going against Darren Peterson. Ford's been battling a hip flexor. And now we've got a whistle and a foul. And that's going the other way. Oh, wow. It's on Peterson, who got tangled up with Bryce Ford. First on Peterson, 4th team foul. And Bill Self is hot. And now Bill Self has been teed up and I believe ejected from the game. There has been an ejection. Doug Sherman's pointed towards the locker room. Unbelievable. I believe a double technical and an ejection of Kansas head coach Bill Self. Well, watch beneath. It's just an option for Darren Peterson to come off screens either way. He tries to go to his left, but Bryce Ford just will not let Darren Peterson move. That is a foul on Bryce Ford. And you have to allow freedom of movement, and Bill Self has publicly talked about it, allowing Peterson to move off the ball, and Coach Self was very upset. He came all the way across the ball because you have to pressure the ball and talk if you're going to switch everything. Tough matchup for Bryce Ford going against Darren Peterson. Ford's been battling a hip flexor. And now we've got a whistle and a foul. And that's going the other way. Oh, wow. It's on Peterson because you have to pressure the ball and talk if you're going to switch everything. Tough matchup for Bryce Ford going against Darren Peterson. Ford's been battling a hip flexor. And now we've got a whistle and a foul. And that's going the other way. Oh, wow. It's on Peterson, who got tangled. Nice, because you have to pressure the ball and talk if you're going to switch everything. Tough matchup for Bryce Ford going against Darren Peterson. Ford's been battling a hip flexor. And now we've got a whistle and a foul. And that's going the other way. Oh, wow. It's on Peterson. Nice, because you have to.
Royce, you good? I'll turn the sound off and I'll just play it as you talk.
Okay. So this has been a big topic probably for the last 10, 12 days out west. We've had a lot of off-ball plays that we've gotten in and we've missed too. So this is something that's got to be a big part of our pregame, is really being focused in our primaries. Chris Long and I spent a ton of time talking about his 3 Ps yesterday. And a lot of it is, know our primaries, get in good position, and being patient with these plays. Obviously in this spot right here, you can kind of see the C's kind of looking up and seeing things because he's seeing a potential screen, stuff like that happening. So right now, these players don't have a lot of eyes on them. And you kind of see the lead's in a great spot. He's wide, able to see all the players. And as this play progresses, you'll see that the C comes to this late and then has to step around to kind of see what's happening, because the C came to it right now, and he can tell that there's something going on, but what is happening? And now he gets blocked out and has to move. But if you saw what the lead was doing, he had his whistle out of his mouth and he's trying to talk to players through that. In this moment, we have that holding starting right there in the Big 12 logo. and it kind of continues around and around as he's trying to move. And now we come and get the offense, and the defense initiated all that contact. So we've got to be very focused on understanding where we need to be looking. And like we always say, if we get that first foul, nothing escalates. We get that first foul there when he had two arms around him. It nothing turns into this, because now we turn around and we got an upset coach that's been talking about this all season, freedom of movement, on this exact player, and he gets a foul because of him being held. And now we make the situation worse by having to deal with the coach at the other end because of that foul. And having that two technical fouls and potentially can change the game in those moments. So it's being very diligent about understanding where we need to look and take care of these things right here. Otherwise, your game will escalate into a mess. And none of us want that. And as we get those first ones, it definitely cleans things up. But it's just, I'm guilty of it too. We try to help players work through things. But I think this time of year, it gets harder and harder because the crowds are louder. Kids are a little more focused, a little more intense. And we just got to kind of deal with what they're putting in front of us. They're the ones choosing to hold, and we just have to put a whistle on this to clean the game up and keep it where we need it to be.
Good job, Royce. I don't recommend taking your whistle out of your mouth during live ball. I just don't, even with dialogue with coaches. I do think you can keep your whistle in your mouth and still, if you get good at it, you can talk easy. You can yell at them that way if you're one of those officials that likes to talk to the players, but by still keeping your whistle in your mouth, because by the time you put your whistle back in your mouth and you're late and the optics of it don't look good, right? The cadence of the whistle, the timing of the whistle doesn't look good. I'm just telling you right here, this is a foul. This is a foul right away. Get it. Don't wait for it. Don't let it, don't let them decide like to unwind or, untangle, whatever. Just call a foul here. Call a foul, establish the line, make them adjust to you as a crew. Don't adjust to them, right? And this is crucial in your pregame to talk about. Freedom of movement is a thing. Freedom of movement just means we can't hold, we can't chuck or push cutters, free flowing players without the ball. That's what freedom of movement means. We want a free flowing game. We want to be able to cut. We want to have some rhythm, some pace, some speed to the game. And we have to be able to do that by playing legally, right? By not grabbing, holding, chucking, walking in front of, a cutting offensive player or what have you. And so you've got to identify in your game when the ball is not in your primary coverage area, you got to get your eyes into your primary coverage area because you can pick this up immediately if your eyes are in the right spot. So anything in the chat, anybody want to expand on this? This is a clip that got sent to me by an official in South Dakota. Said, hey, you need to turn on the Kansas-Arizona State game. Just saw this, and he said, it went from a no call, or it went from for sure a defensive foul to an offensive foul to a coach getting a technical and then another technical and being ejected in the first half. And so, and if you look at the Arizona State coach, Coach Hurley, if you watch him, he's given the double foul. I think he wants a double foul here. So he's like, hey, double foul. And that would have been that would have been better instead of giving the offensive foul. But again, we don't want to be late on these, right? We want to get them right away. Get them right away and get them early and establish that line. Questions, comments, concerns on clip number 1? Okay, we'll keep moving. Clip number 2, again, freedom of movement, off ball coverage. Mitchell Watertown, you'll notice that we're less than 3 minutes into the game, and we've got 4 team fouls on Mitchell and none on Watertown. So we're establishing the line, right? We're calling fouls, and so we're going to have a. I want to show you the consistency of the crew in making sure that we're penalizing poor defense on one end and penalizing poor defense on the other end. And this is something that the crew pregame, we talked extensively about freedom of movement, keeping your eyes in your primary coverage area, Get your eyes off the ball when it's not in your primary coverage area. Get your eyes on off ball things.
Yeah, didn't go up real strong with that one there, Jackson. He kind of got to a spot, didn't go up very strong. The Shelsky kid, I think, is going to play a big part in this game here as well. Another big body that they can go to, sophomore, but he's the biggest kid they have. Interested to see how Shelsky now can play a factor in this game.
Yeah, and Mitchell will go 9 deep. They'll bring in number 3, Carter McCormick. They'll go to number 20, Tyler Christensen. Number 40, Owen Shelsky, like you had mentioned, and then 44, Luke LeBrun. All 4 of those kids will get plenty of time.
Well, nickel and dimer off the ball there. You know, hate to say it, I think refs know when it's 4 fouls to 0, and they get maybe the radars up a little bit more off the ball. Certainly seemed that case.
Strong finish there by Colton Smith, and
too easy.
Yeah, ankle seems to be okay, Brian.
Too easy on the out-of-bounds play for sure there. Yeah, you know, I will say this is good to see. They got a game plan on Carter Bisker. They're going to grab and hold, and now we're going to live at the free throw line here for the remainder of this quarter.
Yeah, 5 minutes left in the first quarter.
Jackson kind of got to a spot, didn't go up very. Play a big part in this game. Big body that they can go to, sophomore, but he's the biggest kid they have. Interested to see how.
Okay, just watch the post area here. You're going to have White 5 from behind. It's illegal defense. It's a hold. He's going to try to basically pull him through and try to front him. He's playing behind him. That's just the way it is. He's in that vulnerable position just at the onset, and he's got to officiate, or excuse me, he got to play defense as he sees fit with the position that he has. It's a foul right away. Don't talk to him. Don't let it play out. Call a foul right away. Call a foul right away and clean it up and establish the line. White 5 in the post.
Can play a factor in this game.
Yeah, and Mitchell will go 9 deep. They'll bring in number 3, Carter McCormick. They'll go to number 20, Tyler Christensen. Number 40, Owen Shelsky, like you had mentioned, and then 44, Luke LeBrun. All 4 of those kids will get plenty of time.
Well, nickel and dimer off the ball there. You know,
we've got a hold in the post. The team fouls are 4-1, and we're gonna have a made basket by Mitchell, and then we're gonna go down the other end. And you know, you can't have the mindset of, well, the next foul I call, they're gonna be in the bonus. And gosh, we've only played 3 minutes, Chris. We can't be shooting free throws 3 minutes in the game. That if that's how the game is going, you got to officiate the game how it's going, and you got to continue to blow your whistle. If you got to call fouls, you got to call fouls. That's just the way it is. They're going to have to adjust to you, and so we're going to have a foul call, and we're going to be shooting free throws with less than 3 minutes off the clock as far as in the first quarter. And it's an off-ball foul. It's a hold. They're going to hold White too, and this was something that was pregame that we've got to make sure that we allow freedom of move, particularly for this Watertown player because he's a good shooter. So just observe when we come down.
Say it, I think refs know when it's 4 fouls to 0, and they get maybe the radars up a little bit more off the ball. Certainly seemed that case.
Strong finish there by Colton Smith, and
too easy.
Yeah, ankle seems to be okay, Brian.
Too easy on the out-of-bounds play for sure there. Yeah, you know, I will say this is good to see. They got a game plan on Carter Bisker. They're going to grab and hold, and now we're going to live at the free throw line here for the remainder of this quarter.
Yeah, 5 minutes left in the first quarter, and Mitchell picks up their 5th foul.
I believe that's two on Skinner, and should be 2 on.
Okay, so again, off ball, I think it's good consistency as well, in that, you know, we got an off ball foul down on the on one end, and you don't have to look for it and get it, but if it's there and you've been calling it and stay consistent, boom, foul. And so we're shooting free throws. We identify who the free throw shooter is, and off we go. It's just a part of the game. Continuing to focus on, if the ball is not in your primary coverage area, get your eyes off the ball. Okay, we've had a lot of calls in the last month or so because the games are starting to get heightened, that we have too many officials not focusing on their primary coverage area and following the ball too long. And by the time that they get their eyes back to their primary coverage area, it's too late. We've missed the first foul, and so then we get a foul, and it's not on the right offense or defense. We're late to the party, and so we haven't seen the whole play. Right? We talk about, seeing the whole play, letting it start, develop, and finish. See it from the onset. See the illegal activity or illegal contact right away. Anybody want to add anything? Again, this isn't flashy stuff as far as groundbreaking tonight, but man, if you can really establish a hard line early and do a good job of cleaning this up early, it's really going to help your game out. It really will, because as you get down into the second half, into the meaningful minutes and critical situations, they know where the line is. They know exactly what you've allowed and what you haven't allowed, and they're not going to deviate from that, because they know if they do, boom, whistle, foul. Royce, anybody else want to add to that?
No, I think we're good. We got a few more plays similar to that, so we'll keep moving.
Okay, clip number 3. And the only reason I show this one is because it's the same game. We're in the second quarter. There's 2 minutes and 5 seconds left. We're still calling off ball fouls. We're still staying with it. It's not a first quarter thing. It's not a first 3 minutes of the game thing. We're just going to continue to call what we see, and we're going to continue to work hard in our primary, and we're going to continue to make sure that we allow freedom of movement, right? We want to get some pace. We want to get some flow. And if they're going to keep fouling, we're going to keep blowing our whistle.
So if you guys notice something, look at the bottom
Now
here.
you got Isaac.
1-to-1 foul.
Go ahead, Royce. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, but if you look down at the bottom here, you guys set the tone. They adjusted. It's 1-to-1 fouls. 6 minutes into the second quarter. That means you guys set the tones. The team's adjusted. That's just proof right there. I think that's a great thing to see, that they adjusted to what you guys did. So great job, guys, on that game.
Underneath on Colton Smith.
It's just interesting. There's no help.
And he's doing whatever he wants underneath. He is single-handedly, him and Shelsky single-handedly keeping Mitchell in this game.
If he's
Okay, ball goes away. Ball goes away out of the Trail's primary coverage area. It is in the center's primary coverage area right now. Trail, get your eyes to your primary coverage area. You're off this. You're done. Get your eyes here. You're going to have a possible screen action, and you're going to have white number 2. Okay, we talk about identifying players. White number 2 is a good shooter for Watertown. Okay, they're going to set screens for him. He's a good perimeter shooter. They want to get him open. They want to get him shots. We need to be aware of that. Okay. Eyes here as the Trail. Yeah, you got your lead official there, but maybe your lead official doesn't get a good look at this. Maybe he's looking here. Maybe he's thinking about initiating a rotation, right? And so he's thinking more so of going over. And that's why our Trail needs to get his eyes here and here in identifying illegal contact if needed.
going to catch the ball deep, you have to come with help. And again, they're going to hold Carter every time. I mean, at least they're getting it right as far as you can't just constantly hold the cutter every single possession. But if Colton continues to get it deep, Watertown's going to
Underneath on Colton Smith.
It's just interesting.
He's doing whatever he wants underneath. He is single-handedly, him and Shelsky single-handedly keeping Mitchell.
Okay, we're over in the center primary coverage area now. This is a play I struggle with the most, of where your eyes should be. My eyes are still over there. I would argue my eyes are not in the right place still, right? I'm looking here a little bit, but I need to start to transition my eyes over. Okay?
In this
And
game.
the ball's going to go lower into the center. Get your eyes over there, Chris. Get your eyes in your primary coverage area. You're going to see white 2 come off, and it's going to be a hold. Call the hold. Indicate where the ball is going. Remember, any foul or violation that occurs on or below the 3-point line goes to the baseline. Okay. Calling official could do a better job of indicating what the foul is. Fist with the foul call and then indicating that it's a hold, indicating where the ball is going to go, and then going over to the table. But I think everybody knows what we have here. We have an off-ball foul. We're indicating that the ball is going to go underneath, and we go to the table.
He's going to catch the ball deep. You have to come with help. And again, they're going to hold Carter every time. I mean, at least they're getting it right.
Illegal contact. Assess it accordingly. The individual that fouled is going to come over, and he's going to want to talk through what he thought happened. Okay. Just tell him, hey, let me go get the foul recorded first, and then I'll talk to you. So that was the conversation. Hey, buddy, let me go report the foul, and then I talk to you. He comes over, he goes, hey, I feel like he's grabbing me first, and then you're calling a foul on me because you think I'm holding him. Okay, maybe so. I'll do a better job of getting it next time and seeing the whole play. Boom. Case closed. We're moving on. Black 35's moving on. I appreciate that, sir. Thanks for listening to me. And then we move on to the next play. Okay. Again, not flashy, but just things that if you're really good at this early in your game, it's going to help out your game so much. It really is. And you're going to feel, you're going to get into a mode, right? You're going to be in a mode of really focusing on your primary coverage area. It's going to alleviate double whistles because you're so focused on your third, and it's going to help your game. We'll keep moving. Clip number 4. Royce, you'll take this one over. I'll play it a couple of times. This is a unique one. We're going to have a 3-point shot in the corner over here, and we're going to have a push by White. White is going to push blue 10 right over here by the 3-point line on the shot attempt. The ball is going to be clearly released in the air, and then we're going to have a push. And so your center official is going to spot and mark the 3 and get the shooter up and down. He has no eyes on this, and our trail official is going to come out of his primary and is going to make a correct call, a good call, and is going to, stay at the point of the spot and make sure that they indicate what's going on and get all the things that you need to take to the table.
Blocked. Had Sire wide open, running down the court. Couldn't see him soon enough.
It's good. In for Seaver.
Had Sire wide open, running down the court. Couldn't see him soon enough.
It's good. In for Seaver.
Blocked. Had Sire wide open, running down the court. Couldn't see him soon enough.
It's good. In for Seaver.
Royce, I'll turn the sound off and you can talk through this play.
Okay. This is just what we talk about in pre-games all the time. We got those 1 to 3 plays that we've got to come and get as a crew because we need them as a crew. This is a great one. Stop it right. You can probably go just a little bit farther right when the shot attempt's going up. Here, the trail realizing that they don't have a lot in their area and they expand, knowing that our lead is looking at the rebounding in front of the rim, got a great angle on that. Now they're expanding their vision and knowing that they've got to help in front of the seed, because especially later in the season, we got to be really diligent about taking that shooter up, bring him all the way back down, and stay with them a little bit longer because of how hard people are closing out nowadays. So we, knowing that C is going to be there and have to take that shooter up and bring him back down, they've expanded and they catch this play. Because now if we miss this play, what do you think is going to happen at the other end? That's going to start to escalate. So us reaching out and getting this play is very important. But I love how he got low on the shot. You see the trail's in a great position down below the 28-foot line. Got a great angle to help on this. Not being stuck up at half court like we do once in a while, is stepping down, getting the best possible angle on rebounding. And he has a clean look to see the push coming from number 11 over here. It's just good things and what I like what he did, he paused and he verified things because there's a lot going on, because his eyes went there and he probably doesn't know for sure if the ball goes through or not. Then the C does a great job of letting him know, hey, the basket was good. And then they communicated back and forth. Then he goes to the table and gives information, because we want to make sure that we don't go report and our partners not know what happened, or we don't know that the ball goes in, so that we could communicate those things through. So just good teamwork on this play right here, and really expanding our vision and not getting locked in on both people being in the post, seeing that, but having seen all 10 players and both our partners and making good decisions.
So if you're going to the table, and correct me if I'm wrong, Royce, but Chris is going to, indicate that the foul happened on or below the 3-point line. So he's going to tell the lead official here, Alan, that Alan, it's going to be T area ball. It's going to be blue ball at the baseline. We're going to score the 3-point basket when I go over to the table, and then we're going to report the foul on white 11. So when you go over the table, you're going to say score the goal and then indicate it was a 3-point basket by I do the 3 points. Score the goal. It was a 3-point basket. Fouls on white 11, push, and then you're going to bring in subs if they have subs, and then you're going to indicate the ball is at the baseline. Does that sound right, Royce?
Yep, that's the perfect steps. Just slowing down. In these moments, there's a lot going on, and we rush through these. It takes 10 seconds just to quick communicate, and it seems like seems like forever, but our goal, again, is getting everything right, having all the information so that there's no confusion by our partners. Just good teamwork. This is the key.
And think about your next step now as the calling official. All right, I made the call. I know that the ball is at the baseline across from me. When I turn around, I'm going to start walking down to the free throw line extended because I know that I'm going to be the center when we start this new play, right? Think about your next steps, or when you report the foul, be ready for a possible question from the spearfish coach. Hey, the ball went in. Why are we staying here? Why does T get the ball when we fouled, but the ball went in? Well, coach, there's no team control on a shot. You fouled while there's no team control. The ball goes in, and because you fouled, T area, the blue, they get to keep the ball at the baseline. Okay. And then go to where you need to go. So there's a lot of this is what I call a layered play, right? We have a shot attempt, the ball goes in. As the ball's in flight, we have a foul. We've got the ball that goes in, so we got to go over and report that. It's a layered thing. You got to take it slow, like Royce said, step by step, and make sure you get all the things and make sure everybody's on the same page. All good with that? This happens. I would say this happens more times than not, as far as ball in flight, and we have off-ball fouls, particularly on the defense, and this happens. So got to be ready for it, and gotta be. You might have to ask for help making sure that ball, making sure obviously it went in, but hey, was that a 2 or a 3? Asking your partner, and like Royce said, calling official, or excuse me, official that spotted the 3, make sure you bring that information over to him or her, indicating that the ball went in and indicating whether or not it's a 2 or a 3. Okay, we're at that 50-minute mark. I'm going to show one more clip and we'll wrap it up tonight. Last clip is another simple one, free throw coverage. Okay, we're going to have a foul call, a good foul call by the official, and so that official is going to be the trail official in the free throws, and we're just simply going to have black entering from the 3-point line extended early.
Got a passive Javian Mason. Got a steal, Leon Hart. Yes. It's good!
Okay, so just pay attention to our 2 individuals up here and relative to the ball hitting rim and them entering 3-point line or below.
Rebound, Tyson Canoyer. It's good! rebound. Tyson Canoyer.
Royce, let's do this one together. You want to start, and I'll kind of add to it as well.
Yeah. So obviously during free throws, we've got to be focused. You know, this is towards the end of the game. I think there's seconds left in the game. So we've had a long, tough game. And there's times that we just relax for a second. And these moments are the times that we cannot relax. You can obviously see where his vision is right now. He's looking in here. And as a trail, remember, we're out. He's looking into the lane. Where we should be looking is, okay, I get everybody outside the lane area because I got players in the backcourt, things like that. I should be open watching these players. You can see the trail's eyes dive in on the lane as the ball's being shot, not watching his area. Again, his primary is outside that 3-point line. And now, because obviously our C is going with the rebounding, stuff like that, they don't see those. So we have to keep those eyes in that and that discipline to know that we're going to have these going in because it's turns into being a 1-point game with that missed free throw. They want to get the rebound so they can go down and score too. So it's just being super focused in those moments, knowing what we're responsible for.
And you say, well, it's okay because they got an offensive rebound. Well, yes, but then subsequently they traveled, so that it was a violation. Remember, as the trail official on free throws, every official, identify who your players are of note. Okay. I'm the trail official. There's a couple of things you need to think about in your head. Number one, we're shooting one free throw. Okay. Easy enough. We're shooting one. Number two, the clock. There is 20.7 on the clock. Okay. Do a good job of making sure that the clock starts properly on a touch, and any violation committed, the clock should not start, right? So if we would have caught this and, we're going to go a delayed lane violation because black is violating, and we're going to wait to see on the attempt. If the ball goes in, we can keep playing. If the ball is missed, we have a delayed lane violation as the ball goes up. Ball is missed, whistle, lane violation. And you can indicate one or two of the numbers that violated to that opposing coach so he knows. And maybe the clock started. Maybe the clock's at 19.2. Okay. You're going to tell your partners we're shooting one. Clock operator, you need to put 20.7 back on the clock because we haven't played anything, right? The ball wasn't legally touched. We had a violation. Okay. So identifying who your players are and knowing what your role is on free throws. On free throws, the trail official, you have the players that are extended from the 3-point line and beyond. Identifying that, you have the ball, making sure that the ball gets rim, along with possibly helping with the clock, but making sure that these players are not crossing the 3-point line prior to the ball touching the rim or going in, is what I like to say. Okay. Again, it's a small thing, but every situation you have a role. Identify your role and what are the components of the role that you're in. What do I need to be aware of? I need to be aware of we got one shot. I'm bringing the subs in, after that first free throw. I'm getting turned around. I'm at the 28-foot line, and then I'm identifying my players at the 3-point line extended. These two players, I would be saying to myself, these guys, they're gonna possibly violate here. I mean, look at them; they're getting ready to go in. I got to be ready. I got to be ready, and say to yourself, okay, white shooting. If black violates here, Chris, this is going to be a delayed lane violation. Chris, don't blow your whistle. Wait for the shot. Wait to see what the shot does. If it goes in, we just keep playing. If it misses, then blow your whistle, Chris. Then blow your whistle. And then know that, all right, if I blow my whistle after that, I got to check the clock and make sure that it didn't stop because my magic number is 20.7. That's what's on the clock. Okay. So, tonight was very simple things, maybe, but simple things that we talk about. You can have a great game, and if we miss one of these things or we're not focused, right? We talked a lot about our level of focus. That's what it comes down to, being focused from the tip all the way to the end of regulation into the extra period. Every single trip, every single time we're in the trail, the center, the lead, being focused, knowing our role, knowing the components of our responsibility. So that's going to conclude tonight. I don't want to keep you any longer. It's 55 minutes. Royce, anything to add? Anything in the chat box? Anybody got anything at all?
No, the chat box is clear. Yeah, congratulations to everybody that gets to do some Sodex 16 games on Tuesday, guys, and good luck to everybody doing state tournaments too, guys. Just it's that time of year. We all know what's on the line, so have good pre games. Be really focused on the court and enjoy what we're doing, guys. In the end, this is a lot of fun what we do. Don't forget to enjoy these moments and being a part of great games like we've seen so far in the playoffs. So good luck, everybody.
Well said, Royce. Appreciate everyone's time on these Zoom calls. This is going to be our final one. We're not scheduled to do one next Sunday. If we would put one out, we'll let you know, but this is our final one. We tried it this year. I think it's went relatively well, but we're always looking for improvement of what you want. You're the membership. You're the fraternity of officials. Let us know. We want to help each other out. We're not the experts. We make mistakes. We all want to learn together. And again, these videos are not meant to make fun of anybody or discourage anybody from taking the floor again. If I make a mistake, I say to myself, when's the earliest I can get back on the floor so that I can correct it and or be better because of it? Because when that happens again, I know that I'm not going to make that same mistake. So again, appreciates everyone's time. Be supportive of each other as we enter Tuesday night and into the girls' state tournaments and into the boys' state tournaments. Be supportive of each other. Have great pre-games. Know that whatever's happening, the chaos that's happening in the game, you three officials, you as a crew, need to be the calming presence. Don't show any emotion, whether it's a high-level call or a low-level call. Be the same. Be steady. Support each other when things are going well, and support each other when things are challenging, and you'll be the best team on the floor. So thanks, everybody. Have a great night. We'll talk soon.